West Brom vs Chelsea, I'll definitely get a defender in for that one. You'd be absolutely crazy not to, right? I like it! But no worries, as today it's time to find the best ever players for your team. It's the Gameweek 31 Players to Watch. This is the series that Baker Boy here gets his magnifying glass out as I scout the best ever players money can buy you in the league right now. Where I myself will be an extra cheeky boy this week, as I've already grabbed the button and smashed the wildcard button ready to wildcard this week. So we'll definitely be chinwagging with that and options for that as well. So let's not waste any more time and let's get straight into the players with the first geezer to join us. It is actually a group of fellas. Whoa, we're having a bit of an orgy here, we lads? As it's the Liverpool lads with these. Where I've gone for the brace scoring Diogo, who's Jota be in with a big shout to be in your team right now, a Trent Alexander left at home Arnold, and a Mo Salah finally getting Mo goals. Liverpool put up a big boy performance against Arsenal, didn't they? But to be fair, it is Arsenal, you know, they're not very good. Where they casually strolled past them to get a 3-0 victory royale, where Trent got an assist and a clean sheet along with all of the bonus, meaning he's now got 21 points in his last 2 FPL games, not too bad, right? And also getting all of the bonus in 3 of his last 5 games. Not bad for a defender who's only got 1 assist, right? It's probably quite a good sign of good things to come. Then Jota, who didn't even start, still managed to get 2 golassos, even though he only came on in the 60th minute. Absolute machine, right? After he also just come back from scoring all of the goals in the international break as well. He now also has 8 goals this season for Liverpool in only 7 league starts. What an absolute madman. He is insane. And then the tried and tested Mo Salah is just Salah in here, a very good player, where he has 18 goals this season, and you know, he's had a pretty poor season compared to his standards, right? And the fact he's still got 18 goals, wow. But Liverpool here are actually not too far off the top 4 right now, you know? And after some wibbly-wobbly results from other teams, they're actually properly looking at it and like, whoa, we can actually get that now. Where I definitely think that will be their aim for the rest of the season. But their run for the rest of the season is actually quite damn sexy, you know, playing the likes of Leeds, Newcastle, West Brom, Burnley, Palace and all the nice ones in there, where, you know, Liverpool should really get all of the points there, and hopefully their players can translate that to FPL points for us, so hey. Where maybe a quite low-owned, quite attacking defender in Trent could be a very good shout for your wildcard. Maybe a Salah could be an option to get in there for the captaincy. But Diogo Jota is actually my biggest top buy suggestion for this week. As he's shown you, even if he doesn't start, he gets all the goals, and he's just an amazing player, amazing value player. You've got to get him in. And yeah, there will be a lot of rotation around Champions League, you know, they might proper focus for that a bit more, but with how well Jota's been, I definitely still think he's still worth it. I still think so, hey. Making them all players to watch, and maybe even players to buy this week. But the next set of players to chinwag about today, and ones that could actually be a very good spicy differential shout in your team, and that is in fact the Wolves lads with these, where we've gone for a Pedro Wonderkid Neto, a Nelson overpriced Semedo, and a Connor Liverpudlian Codir. Now, Wolves have very much been wibbly-wobbly Wolves all season, right? Where they are now actually only 6 points above Newcastle, just above the relegation places. They're not quite safe yet. So with that said, they are definitely not quite beached yet and need to get some wins on the table. So maybe some of their players might not be a son of a beach and could get you all of the FPL points. Where in terms of fixtures, they actually have the most nipple-teasing ones out of anyone right now. Playing Fulham, Sheffield United, Burnley, West Brom and Brighton all in a row. Whoa! So could a very involved young attacking winger who runs forever as if he's got Red Bull directly injected into his vein, Neto, could be good enough to potentially get all of the golassos? Or maybe with those fixtures more clean sheets have come in, where Semedo has been a big attacking threat lately and sometimes being the most forward player in their entire team, or maybe a cheaper defender in Connor Cody who has also actually been getting his head on all of the corners lately, might sound a bit more tastier to you. But then the thing is with Wolves, you don't really know what Wolves are going to turn up, do you? Where they could play absolutely amazingly and still lose 3-0, or they could play absolutely terrible and still somehow grind a 1-0 win. Okay then. But actually, could this kind of thing of unpredictability actually put a lot more people off, maybe, making them even more differential than they already are, because, you know, a lot of their players are not highly owned at all. So with that said, with the great fixture run, do you just risk it for a biscuit, get one of them in, where if they do pull it off, that is all of the spicy points for you that no one else is getting. Great success, which is why all of these lads are ones to watch and maybe even ones to buy this week on the watch list. But the next set of players to join us today, it is in fact the bottling bottlers, who may as well just have smart water written on their forehead. That's how much of a big bottlers they are, right? As that team is actually the Spursy with these. Now, Spurs are a team with world-class players, right? Like a Son, a Kane and a Bale. But even with that, they still can't beat a relegation-threatened Newcastle team managed by Stevie Bruce in 2021. Are you mad? And to be honest, apart from Kane, I would be really considering selling all of their players right now. As you know, the only one you can really trust out there is the Mr. Sir Harold. But we actually have some big boy BBC news in the house, actually. As Spurs now have 2 fixtures, have a double game week in game week 32, hey, the only team to actually have a double in that week, actually, where they will play Southampton and Everton. 2 teams that on the day, can be a bit wobbled and can concede some of the goals. So, it might be a good shout to get some Spurs players in for that one. But if that is the case, do we just fill our team with Spurs players, get them all in, way? But the answer to that is actually, maybe. Probably not. As remember, Spurs also do still blank in game week 33, as well as Man City and a few other teams as well. So if you do go heavy on the Spurs players and you have all the Man City players, prepare yourself to only have a 5-a-side team for the next game week. So, have that in mind. But then something else to talk about is that Man City and the pep roulette seems to be turned on even more lately, and some of their players might not actually be worth owning right now, So does that mean we can go double Spursy for the double game week and still have one Man City player, but then also still have a squad for game week 33? Now that is what I think we should all go for. So I guess maybe the question is, what Spurs double do we go for? Where Sir Harold Kane right here, he's already got a spot, no chance he's losing that, and you know what, he's probably a season keeper for most people out there with his amazing form right now. So will it be a Bale, or maybe a Son, or maybe even someone else to take that second Spursy spot for you? Where Son, is one of the best footballers in the league on his day, and can do very well, and then Bale on his day is also one of the best golfers in the league. Oh, he's amazing, look at that swing, boy. But unfortunately for us Welsh lads, it really looks like Bale is really out of favour now. I think it's done. I think it's over. As he didn't play a single minute against Villa. And then he also didn't start against Newcastle. Where even though he did come on the pitch, he didn't really have an impact at all. And it's just not looking promising for him at all. So if you have him, I would probably say maybe keep him 1 week, probably just change the sum for the double. But I definitely don't think it's a good idea to get in Bale right now, as, it's just wibbly wobbly with Mourinho in there. You don't know what's going to happen. So with that said, I think the Son man, the one that's just come back from injury, the one that can get all of the goals and assists like he's shown us this season, where his minutes could be managed a little bit as he gets back to full fitness, but he did get a nice 45 minutes out in the last game and looked fresh as a daisy. So I reckon the Son is the player that should go next to the Kane. So it's definitely a Kane, maybe a Son, probably not a Bale, and probably not anyone else. Maybe a Reguilon, probably maybe not. And they were all ones to watch and maybe ones to buy, definitely for that double game week 32 in mind, where you can get all of the double points as well, where hey. But then again, it might also make sense just to wait 1 more week, as they do play against the Manchester United this week. So maybe it is actually ones to just watch this week and then ones to buy next week. Very nice. But the final set of players to join us today, and the ones that might even make more appearances in my videos for the rest of the season than their own team right now by the looks of it, as it is the Man City boysies with these, where we've gone for a Benjamin Mendy, yes, that's right, you heard. Shark Team is back in full action, along with a Gundogan, a Gundogan, and a Kevin De Bruyne. Wait, that was kind of fun. A Kevin De Bruyne! Now, you might call me an absolute cheeky scrub for chucking a Mendy in here, and to be fair, I very much agree with you, because I'm not actually suggesting him as a player, but I've kind of just chucked him in because he scored 15 points last week, and it's more of a talking point anyway. So, alright, hang on, right? Because the main chin-wagging topic to talk about with these fellas right here is the fact that Man City basically played their entire B team in the league this week, and it's not very good if you have a lot of their players. As we saw Cancelo, Stones, and Gundogan all being benched and all not playing a single minute for City this week, and they're all quite very high owned, As it does seem like a big possibility that Man City are, going to really focus on the Champions League right now, with the league pretty much wrapped up. I mean, it's not quite there, it's not quite the easiest of dubs for them, but, I mean, their B team still consists of players like Aguero, so I think they'll be fine, But I do actually think the likes of Gundogan, maybe even the likes of De Bruyne, could miss out on a few games here. Where with that being the case, it's always a massive rotation risk there, and also the fact that they blank in game week 33, is it actually worth having any of them in your team right now? I'm actually not too sure it is. But then again, we could take it the other way and say, right, if Gundogan and De Bruyne and all of their best players look like they're going to miss out in some league games, you know, because they're concentrating on Champions League, does that actually mean that they're like fringe starters, the likes of Foden or Bernardo Silva, could actually be a very good option for the league for the rest of the season? You know what? Like, it actually could. Like, what if Foden starts all the time in the league because they play their best players in the Champions League? Huh? Now, the true answer to that is really in Pep's hands. We have no control of that, and we have no idea how he's going to do it, because it's just Pep, innit? He loves to spin our jaws and confuse us all. Discombobulate FC Man City are going to be for the rest of the season. But in my opinion, if I had to choose any of their players right now, it would actually only be down to 3, and that would be a Diaz, a Gundogan, and a Kevin De Bruyne. But in my opinion, I would rather a much cheaper Gundogan than a very expensive De Bruyne if I don't know if he's going to start at all, you know? As I do actually think Gundogan will probably get similar minutes, similar returns for the rest of the season, but he's half the price, right? And then you can use that money to invest in a proper premium that you know is going to play all the time, such as the likes of a Kane or Bruno, because there's nothing worse than a 12 million quid player not even playing. Terrible. But then again, maybe you're looking at their defence a bit more, where I do think a Diaz is still a very good shout, but I do think a Stones and a Cancelo is probably not worth holding at all, you know? As their best players like a Cancelo or De Bruyne might not actually play their easier games on paper, you know? And that is probably the only games you really want them for. So is it really worth having like a De Bruyne if you know he's only going to play the harder games for them in the league, and then you don't even know if he's going to start at all? I don't want that in my team at all. So what I would say about owning the Man City geezers right now is that with the blank Gameweek 33 coming up where they don't play in that one, and the fact that Spurs double in Gameweek 32, I think the best thing to do right now is probably own 2 Spurs players and then only 1 Man City until that blank, and then after that we can reevaluate and change anyone if we want to anyway. But then again, Man City players could actually be the best for captaincy this week against Leeds. So it's a bit all up in the air really, and nobody really knows what's going on. But all of them are definitely players to watch and players to keep an eye on right now. As you know, Pep loves his little roulette spinning and everything's going on. But if some of their players do start in Champions League this week and the next league game, you could probably say they're quite damn safe, and those could be probably the best ones to get in your team. But that is it for the Gameweek 31 players to watch list this week. Where we got the upcoming doubles to look at, the upcoming blanks to come up, and we've got a very nice fixture swing for a lot of teams in here as well, and teams that are really looking to grab their form and switch it on its head and do much better right now, like the likes of the Wolves and a Liverpool. But some of us lucky gentlemen out there have actually activated their wildcard, which includes me, hey! And we might actually be chucking in all of these players that I put on this list today, And you know, I might get all of the players and get all of the points, hey! But that is it for today. So thanks for watching, and remember...
Don't be a cheeky scrub. Subscribe to Nathan Bacon right now. Don't let your memes be dreams.